right. Some real shit for you niggas. Check it out.
Am I weak or am I strong? Can my mind carry me on? I'm striving to get this money, but cowards say that it's on. Who am I not to do me, nigga, and get it on? I'm striving to get this money, but cowards say that it's on.
I'm having dreams of my enemies killing me, cause the way I be chasing my currency and dealing with bitches who work on their knees. The piece of young G, so I don't sleep, cause I got seed to feed. So I take photos and ride with calicos and 44s. Made me a sick individual, mind of a criminal, acts of a serial killer, nigga. Don't let me get at you, gotta get this money, nigga. I'll be damned if I'm bummy while laughing at you niggas getting this cake. You niggas fake, shoot the A out the cake. So what can I say? These brain niggas don't play. R.I.P. A-Wall, screaming fuck all y'all gon' stand tall.
Am I weak or am I strong? Can my mind carry me on? I'm striving to get this money, but cowards say that it's on. Who am I not to do me, nigga, and get it on? I'm striving to get this money, but cowards say that it's on. Am I weak or am I strong? Can my mind carry?
From every dollar to every penny is accounted for and shown to everybody that's involved. That's the way things grow, because now you're developing a financial standpoint where everybody's like, okay, this is what we're doing. All right, shit, this bringing in some dough. You know what I'm saying? Then you can be like, okay. I mean, it's just like, I'm gonna use consignment. You know what I'm saying? Somebody gets something on consignment. You know what I'm saying? End up with a 50 piece or a 100 piece, right? Right? You end up with all of that. You looking for your team to help you consolidate that. You know what I'm saying? So the individuals that's with you are able to then consolidate and work with you if it's an honorable organization, and everyone's able to kind of make do with what's coming in from that one source. Right? That one source. And sometimes motherfuckers die fighting just trying to find that one source. But if we put the one source on the table and we know that everybody can eat, why not try to make that money together? If we can do that, if we can do that with a whole consignment, you know what I'm saying? If we can do that with a consignment and be like, okay, 50, 10, 10, 10, you know, 20, or however it may go, because that's how it go. You know what I'm saying? We willing to work like that, but then why we can't work like that when it comes to developing infrastructure for the community?
And I think we can, man. That's what I'm saying.
We really can.
It takes it's not an easy task as far as, like, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna have to get your paperwork, blah blah, which that ain't really all that hard either when you talk to people that know how to do it, unless you know how to do it yourself. But as far as that goes, man, all it really takes is people just putting up their money, really. That's all it really takes.
That's all it really takes, man.
And people putting up the money, all that old let's raise money and all that. You could do that too. But if you come to the table actually with a number,
with something, 1,000.
I'm talking about, you know, it be structured, it be wrote down. Hey, this is what we gonna need. This is dues. This is this or whatever.
This how much the rent is. The gas
blah blah
is.
Blah. Yeah, if you lay it out, then I think that'd be easier than just having people come to the pot with nothing and say, well, let's build this.
That's the thing. In the building phase, it ain't even no numbers to really chop up.
Yes, it is.
In the beginning, ain't no numbers to chop up. When we sitting down thinking about the consignment, we ain't got it yet. But we waiting on it to come. It's the, hey man, you know, we got like 3 days, so we, you know,
but it still takes
time.
It still takes fees and all that. Like say,
everybody got
we putting together this, we putting together that, we're throwing this, we throwing that, blah 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 blah. So you know, that's a write off. Of course, now it's an organization, so it's going to be a tax write off, blah blah blah. But still, somebody still got to cover that expense out the gate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then then you're cut in, so you do it like everything else. Like, okay, if you bring you know, $100 to the table this month compared to his 50, then you can obviously have a bigger stake.
It's shares.
You have a bigger shares than him.
Now
or her or whatever.
Shares or stock.
See, now that's how you really do everything. Everything we ever did.
That's how it should be.
Everything we ever did that was successful, from even illegally, like selling drugs or whatever, you always came to the table with that kind of blueprint almost.
Yeah.
Every month is this or whatever. Every week is this or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then, you know what, it might be $50. And like, all right, next week we're going to boost it up to 75 or 100 or whatever. You know,
that's how you grow. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, it's like we at a time right now where we understand how much money we spend in the stores. You know what I'm saying? We understand that how much we spending on cars, You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people really starting to be mindful of their credit. So now is the time for individuals to kind of come together, man, and start developing full-blown solutions. You know what I'm saying? If people homeless in your neighborhood, and there's individuals in the neighborhood that got their money up and can ante up and buy the house that's vacant, now you can lightweight solve the issue of homelessness in your neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? If you have a transportation issues and elders not being, you know, it's so many solutions for everything that we dealing with. The thing is that nobody can do it alone. It's gonna take an army to get it done. But what happens is when the money gets to the table, everybody deviates. So there's no way to really work together because everybody wants to do their own kind of thing, and it's sad.
See, but that goes back to what I just said. If you're coming to the table with the agenda and people are signed up to the agenda,
they're not signed up to it.
But that's
the thing. But everybody is like, okay, you know, I'm gonna talk about grant process, right? Grant process. You throw $250,000 in front of a couple people and try to focus on a solution, right? Everybody is gonna, you know, try to do their own thing, right?
But how's they gonna do their own thing when
everybody's trying to figure out a plan to get that 250 for themselves?
But how? Right? Okay, listen though. If they're inside this group and they're putting their money in this group, their money is tied up in the group. So when that money do come, that 250, right?
I'm talking about the groups that need to come together for so inside of the individual group, it should be solid. Right. Everything should be up front. Transparency definitely on the table. And then in working with other individuals outside of that one group. So first we got to build out a core group of individuals that's going to be transparent with each other. Right. And then once that group gets built out, you got to try to build out with all these other different groups to try to make the numbers more meaningful.
But listen though, far as people deviate, it wouldn't be able to happen because the money would be tied up in the investment. So when that check do come, that 250, let's say the number you use, it wouldn't. How could you go do your own thing because the money's tied up into this? So
I'm thinking
how could you go do your own thing?
Like with the money is something else.
See, so what I'm saying
the money is a different part of the deviation.
So what I'm saying is
the issue is sticking to one core barrier.
And that's what I'm saying. You wouldn't have that. That's what I'm saying. You wouldn't have that problem if you implemented a plan and was money involved.
Okay.
You wouldn't have that problem. That's what I'm saying. No matter which way you was going. If we was trying to start up a gym right now, if we was trying to buy a store right now, if we was trying to do whatever we trying to do.
And my thing is, all of that could have happened.
And that's fine, but you gotta have people come to the table with something like you gotta have skin in the game. You gotta give people skin in the game for them to, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, or if we're
the skin in the game is actually seeing your neighborhood prosper.
But yeah, all that's fine, right?
That's
not
goal.
the skin in the game. That's the goal. That's not the skin in the game,
right? So if that's
not
the goal,
the skin in the game. That's the goal.
The skin in the game is when people start getting concerned about the dollars.
No, see, you're talking about two different lingo. Your lingo was different than what I'm talking. I said skin in the game. You keep talking about something else. Skin in the game means, that means either
get something back.
No, skin in the game means that either you got money involved, or you have, you know, like resources tied up. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, it's not all money. Like, okay, if we start a business right now, if we sit right here right now, came up with a business, hey man, this is what we finna do. We're telling the world right now we're starting this business. We're gonna research and see how much it costs to start that business. You know what I'm saying? Yes, we could get grant money and all of that, but that takes time. You gotta let's start what we gotta start doing first as we get grant money. Okay, it's gonna cost this much. You come to the table with some money.
That's the two.
You know what I'm saying? Like now you got skin in the game.
That's
so
the differences between LLCs and nonprofits.
Even with LLCs, it doesn't matter. Nonprofit LLCs. Anytime you're starting something, you can't just sit there and wait for the stuff that's going to come. You got to grind until that comes.
Build it out.
Right. So it costs money to build.
But as you
know what I'm saying? So you put
it's going to cost a couple dollars.
So therefore, people that's involved put their skin in the game. They put their money to get to that next goal. the next goal. You come to the table. Hey, our first step is do this. Flyers or whatever. Let's just say it's going to cost $500. But everybody put in their 2s or 1s or whatever. Just throwing numbers out
everybody
there.
that's in there.
Now they got skin in the game. Now it's your thing. You know what I'm saying? Now y'all keep building. Okay, I come to the table next. You know what we got to do, y'all, to get these grants? We got to go outside and do work. Blah, blah, blah. They're going to do that. They got skin in the game. Now, people would do that for free and all that, but they're that's you're only going to get people to do that 1 or 2 times versus all the way in.
You can only do that with a team that is building off of transparency and actually trying to get to that goal.
Yeah, well, that's
the hardest part.
I don't think it's really hard.
It's been a hard part simply because most individuals can't see eye to eye on which way they should go.
That's because people be having 2 different agendas instead of
having
one agenda.
That's what I'm saying.
But you gotta come to the table with a full agenda.
One agenda. If you can't stick to the one agenda and everybody's like, well, I'm gonna do this one and I'm gonna do this, it'll never get done. And in my honest opinion, that's what we've been dealing with for like the last 30 years. Everybody is gonna be like, oh, I have a solution for this and this and this, right? And I'm speaking about nonprofit world, right? In regards to community safety, things of that nature. Right? Everybody's gonna say, man, I really know the solution and write up this beautiful plan, but in actuality we'll never get it to manifest the way that they want it to do because everybody's gonna have a different way that they think this problem should be solved. Right? And it takes away from the integrity of actually even solving the problem. So everybody's like, oh, I got an idea about housing. We in Section 8, put housing over here, do this and this, wait for this and wait. And it's like, wait a minute. Why can't the individuals within our community that see that we have housing issues come together and say, you know what, instead of waiting for other investors to come in, we invest and buy the buildings in our neighborhood. Well, like that's the part I'm saying. Like we got to get to that first phase. We got to get there first. And like we're not there yet.
This how you do that though. This how you do it.
Oh, this phone finna go.
This how you do that though. You
one common goal, man.
One common. But you got to come to the table with the parties involved, and y'all have to come up at that moment with the common. You know what I'm saying? With the common goal.
It's gotta have.
You know what I'm saying? You got to come to the table with that common goal. So everybody got to be on point. This is what we on, or is we doing this? Okay, you know what I'm saying? All right, cool. Everybody agree? All right, the next step is what it's going to take to get to the next step.
What do we do?
You know what I'm saying? Everybody got to be
and like, it's like, what do we do to keep moving forward? You know what I'm saying? Before this go dead, my phone finna die, and I apologize. But the whole thing is like, we have to realize that sometimes pointing around and saying, you know, something that's holding us back might not be what's really holding us back. We have to look inside internally and figure out what it is that we are doing as individuals that are actually holding us back as a community. Because as individuals, everybody good. Everybody could be good as an individual, but we will never have the wealth that is needed in order to sustain a long life for our children. Our children will have to suffer the same way that we did, and at some point, we have to change that dynamic. I don't want to see my grandkids go through what I went through ever in life.
So the easiest way to do this is you start off with what you got. Either you talk to a few people. If you could get 1 or 2 people to jump on board with you to do something, y'all do that, and then you keep going.
Keep building.
There's different things like rent out cars from Turo, blah, blah, blah. There's different things you could do to get together. But the sad part is, I talk to so many people about doing different things, putting your money together, and a majority of the time people be bluffing. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
It's hard because
people be bluffing.
It's hard because the beginning stages of building come with so much transparency. And by us being from the neighborhoods and through the shits that we done dealt with, it's hard for us to even disclose some of the things that we need to disclose because of the issues. I'm just saying, like that's what stops the growth.
I know. So you got to be. I remember the job. I remember my last job I had, right? A person told me about it. Before I walked out of the building to go look at the job, I told 3 people.
Personal healing is sacred.
Look, I told 3 people on my way to go fill out that application. I told 3 other people before I even went to that job. People be scared to do stuff like that. People be scared to do that type of shit. Like, what's for you is for you. I don't be scared to tell anybody about a plug. I tell a motherfucker word for word how to get down with something. You know what I mean? But we don't do that as
we
people.
don't do that.
Yeah,
and that
we
is
talking about it, but we don't be about it.
And that's what we on. So we talking about it, and now it's our time to really be about it, right? So it's up to us to change that momentum and really understand, like, yo, what is really holding us back? What is really holding us back? The lack of support, the lack of trust, and overall, the inability to see someone else doing something right. I think it's a lot. The Willie Lynch letter. So, you know, anybody at home that's never heard about it, if you run across this video, please check it out. You know, we might drop the link in so you can read it. But the Willie Lynch letter is extremely critical right now because we all we got. And it's not like it's a race or anything, but we want to sustain our livelihoods so where our children can be safe in the communities that we live in. Like, what's wrong with that?
And speaking about children being safe, man.
Yeah, man.
We got to speak on this. London Bean, rest in peace, the guy killed back in September.
She said the ego, yes ma'am.
The person that shot him, the 18-year-old boy that shot him, and his dad, both been charged with murder of his death. And once again, that was London Bean, rest in peace. That beautiful soul.
Like, that's crazy. Like,
so
as a father.
Now hold on, let me say this before we even say anything about this. This as far as what the papers and the news say. You know, so we're just going by that information. What the newspapers say, the media, blah blah blah. As far as what they say is, his son came in there, the 18-year-old came and told his dad that his sibling was getting jumped. They went and jumped in the car, rode to the scene, seen people, rode around the back, parked, and little dude jumped out and went and got down. And ended up, you know, committing that.
Killing that shorty.
Yeah, man. So
the saddest part about it is that as a father, why would you want to take your son to go do that? Like, I don't know what the true story is. Like, again, the newspaper said it and the media has a way of playing with our perception of facts.
But if that is the fact.
If that is the fact,
what they're saying in the paper, in the news, or whatever, if that is the fact that you went and rode with your child, no matter if he's 18 or not, that's your child, and to go...
This is a 12-year-old. My thing is, I hope it ain't nobody on here, on my page, that will even condone this type of behavior.
Yeah, like, if you're, you know, you're 40 years old, and I actually know the dude. I was in the pen with him back in 08, man, you know, and I couldn't see him being that type of cat, but I mean, you know, we only see each other through there, so who knows how a motherfucker is. But man, if it's true what happened, man, you cannot. So
I've seen families go crazy when they find out somebody done got jumped on.
Yeah, but it's like, so this is my thing though. If that's your child in the fight and you're 40 years old, you mean to tell me you don't know how to go break up a 12-year-old fight?
They're not breaking up the fights, man. A lot of the elders in our community are condoning and encouraging this violence,
videos.
Bro. I've seen it in person. Encouraging this violence, bro. It ain't like, you know what I'm saying? Like an 18-year-old man in the car with his father. It's like the father could give him so many other alternatives.
Yeah. You could
give your son so many other alternatives that don't, you know, end up with him risking his life. You know what I'm saying? But instead of that, you will take your child to their demise for the sake of ego, as Miss Catrice mentioned. You know what I'm saying? Like, for the case of ego, you would take your child to go kill or assault another child.
And then that's the thing too, though. You're the adult. So if it was that serious, if it was that serious, you couldn't have your 18-year-old just jump in the fight. If it was that serious,
it's crazy. We are what's holding us back.
Yeah.
Think about it.
So man, yeah. So.
Man,
I guess, you know, that's the same thing as this, man. I mean, you know, it's going, you know, a lot of people do it, so a lot of people might say, man, I do what the fuck I want to do in life. But that's just like when you got a child and you got the little dude throwing up gang signs or whatever.
Man.
You got your 3-year-old throwing up gang signs.
Or hitting the blunt.
Or hitting the weed, man. I think I kicked out a girl's house for cussing her out for something like that.
Man.
That the 3-4-year-old smoking the weed and shit. Like, are you serious, man?
It's not what's happening, man. Like, we living in a world, man, where unfortunately, a lot of the adults are still stuck at 20, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think we growing that much. You know what I'm saying? I think we kind of stagnant because we so caught up in this frame of mind that this is how we supposed to be. You know, like this is what's cool, or you know, I don't fuck with no niggas. Like, come on, man. Like, we gotta get to the point where we forget where we were at.
Yeah, we gotta
start moving forward.
You know, I mean, and you know, it's easier said than done, but it gotta be a point where you understand that you cannot be the way you're raised all the time.
All the time.
Just because you're raised a certain way don't mean you gotta be that way, man.
It's time to grow.
And it's easier said than done, but at the same time, it's not as hard as we make it either.
Man, it took me a long time to get up out the club. I ain't gonna lie, you know what I'm saying?
But even but being in the club don't make it a bad thing.
I mean,
you know, like being in the club, what that mean? You outside enjoy yourself? We talk about that. You got your.
That you're not supposed to be in the club with a girl's 21.
Why not?
Years. Oh no.
Why can't you? You're out having a drink. You can't control what age is in there. It's 21 plus.
That's not.
Do you have? Would you have your 3-year-old throw up game size though?
Hell no.
Okay, then you going to have a drink in a club. It's just a regular. You going to have a drink in a club.
But those are things
you know what I'm saying?
Like internal improvements.
Nah, well, why is that a bad thing? If
it's
you're
not
going to have a drink?
I mean, if you're going out every weekend.
If you work
and you
hard and you want to go out every week,
40-something years old,
you can't give that a label. You can't give that a label. I don't do it, but you can't give that a label.
Like at some point, man, when you get to a certain age, it's like,
see, now we gotta have. That's a thin line between. It's a thin line between like what they call
this
that.
Weekend. I'll go next weekend.
And that'd be your personal preference, but you can't say people that do that. You can't call that a problem.
I ain't calling it a problem.
You can't call that a problem. We can't condemn people for nothing.
I don't condemn them, but at 45 years old,
you could be 60 and go to a. I know this.
I don't want to be 60 still.
That's your personal preference.
I'm just saying. It don't. Visually, it don't seem right.
It doesn't
visually, as a 42-year-old man walking into a nightclub where all the little girls in there is like 21.
See, you're looking at it the wrong way though.
I look at them as little girls.
I'm saying, why we even think about women? We talking about just going out having a drink.
Going out, like,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm talking about those specific
you equate it to the woman. Like,
no, going out and having a drink or hitting the bars, doing things like that. Like that's cool.
You could be 70 and do that.
That's cool for our age, but going into the clubs where you know it's a bunch of little kids in, the little 16-year-old done snuck in with the fake ID.
Yeah.
No.
I don't go to those type of clubs right now.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Right,
that's too much. Every blue moon I go. I'm talking about. I don't go.
That's the part I'm talking about.
I don't go because they gonna charge your arm and leg at the door.
Man, you got to pay $30 to get in.
Motherfuckers is gonna be that motherfucker definitely ducked off.
Hey, gang bang ready to fight.
You know what I'm saying? You're going to be sitting there like a lump on the log.
Yeah, them little girls, man. Like,
but as far as just going out having a drink, you should be able to do that no matter how old you are.
You know, once you know. But yeah, hanging out with the little kids, passing them blunts, taking your kids to go shoot people.
Yeah. Let's not get off. So once again, man, I'm going to just say it once again, man. We don't know the story, but if that is the story, that's crazy as shit.
That's the bogus of the hell for the day.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, we ain't doing that, man. We got to. Like we said, we already behind the 8 ball, man. We already got our back against the wall. And we always keep putting ourselves there, like you said. And yes, they do be having some underlined joints that they do too, and some, you know what I'm saying, overlay for the underlay with the whole, you know, I rigged the game the way I want to rig it, so I'm gonna win. But yeah, we do put ourselves behind the 8 ball, man.
Man, and it's sad. We gotta cut it out, man. We gotta start looking at each other like community members, man. Looking at each other like one, cause we don't have very much time. And I don't know too many parents that want to keep going through the same old shenanigans, man. How many funerals do we have to have every summer? How many family members are going to be hiding these little boys in their rooms, you know what I mean, and condoning this behavior inside of their house to where it spills out into our community? Like, how many more incidents like this are we going to have? Or do we get to a point where we start holding each other accountable and being able to slowly work towards making real progress in our community? This Twan, let's see what Twan, what's up? Let me get him on, let's talk about it. Twan, what's going on?
What it do, young brother?
Man, chillin', man. We here. Let's talk about it.
LTA.
Man, little shit, you know, on the podcast. Got a question for you.
Okay.
How you feel about parents passing their babies blunts?
Hell no. Pass their babies blunts.
What age do you think it is appropriate, if there is an age?
18.
18?
Okay.
18.
So yeah, we sit here just talking about a lot of stuff that's going on in the community and how some of the parents, like the young man that got killed, the little 12-year-old that got killed, the stories say that his dad took him over there.
Oh, wow.
Phone just died, my bad. Man, phone just died. We was finna go all the way live. Man, that's deep. What about that BMF shit?
I haven't been watching it for the last 3 weeks or so.
I ain't gonna lie, BMF kind of tight.
Yeah, I ain't only seen 2 episodes. I ain't seen it since.
BMF kind of tight, man. Last week, man, they shut the world down because they didn't they didn't air it Sunday, so somebody leaked it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, 50 Cent in a fury right now, man. He cussing stars out, man, talking about severing the relationship and everything because he wanted the whole day, I guess, when the Book of Ghosts or whatever that is,
Yeah.
that come out next Sunday. He wanted all of the shows that he, you know,
For BMF to be out
to
before
be on
Power.
yeah, for BMF to be on the same day as they released the new Power joint, which was, in my opinion, that's a power move. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
you got 2 TV shows coming out back to back on the same channel, playing on the same day. So now you just occupied 2-3 hours worth of airtime. That's dope. Power move, man. They mad at him. They mad at him and then leaked this joint.
Hey, listen, this before we get out of here, this is what I will say, man. What we need to do is we need to start holding like you know how we throw barbecues, right?
Yeah, man. I miss
We need
them
to
days, man.
we need to throw some get-togethers where we bring in entrepreneurs or whatever you got going on to the table. So say we throw a barbecue or whatever it is, a cookout, whatever. Everybody that comes, we're gonna ask everybody, what is your business adventure? What you do? Blah blah blah. What you into? What do you want to do? And if they're with it, we could gather whoever's with it up at the damn meeting or whatever you want to call it to get together, and we could have everybody track their goals. Okay, you want to do this, you want to do this. Now people could work together. You know, like you can say, okay, y'all 3 get together and do this, or we say, okay, y'all 4 got the same idea. Why don't y'all get together? Or you could do it individually, and then in like say 2-3 weeks time, we come back together and see what progress, what step did we take. You know what I'm saying? And then we get together the next 2-3 weeks and keep going on and on and on like that. I think that's one way that you can start empires, and that's an easy way to do it.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Teamwork, man. Teamwork make the dream work, man. And it might not seem right at first. It may be uncomfortable. But in order for us to make any progress in this world, it's going to take a team.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to take a team. You got me and Doe here, and then we got the cameraman, you got the lights, you got all of these. It takes a team to put this together.
Yes, it does.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to get it together, man. That to me is the biggest thing that was on my mind. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, how do we start making the progress that's needed, and not only make the progress that's needed, but kind of support everything that's going on as it's being built.
You gotta come together, strategize, and you gotta give people duties. Like far as like I said, you gotta mess with people that have something to lose.
Something to lose.
That means they gotta have skin in the game. So y'all come up with, like I said, you come up with numbers, or even if it ain't numbers, like far as even if it's you know, like sweat equity, that's fine. But you still gotta have, like, they gotta be actually a part of it though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
and it builds.
That's how you do it.
It builds, man, because now everybody vested.
Exactly.
Everybody want to see the same thing happen.
Exactly.
And transparency allows us to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because if, you know, holding back secrets with the individuals you're supposed to be building with is not going to allow too much wiggle room for trust.
That's why everything gotta be open, like you said. Everything gotta be open.
Man, straight up, or it's not gonna work, man. We dealing with traumatized individuals, man. That we ain't never really did nothing. We've been in the neighborhoods forever. You know what I'm saying? We work our jobs. You know what I'm saying? We take care of our families, but do we own the grocery stores in our neighborhoods? Do we own the dry cleaners? Do we own the currency exchanges and unbanks? Do we own a chicken farm? Do we own anything that we get? Do we own where it comes from?
No, we do not.
That's the level we gotta get to.
Yes, so let's man, listen, man.
That's the level we gotta get
to. And one more last thing, real quick. I seen this new black store that opened. Right, I went in there and looked at the clothes. Right, the clothes is knockoffs, but they're selling it like
it's the real joint.
Like, we gotta stop that too. Stop it, man. If you know that's knockoffs, sell it like it's knockoffs. Yeah. Don't do that. I mean, get your money.
The real joint. So okay, let's pick an item. What they were selling?
Man, they had like say Black Label jeans.
Black Label, I don't know nothing about them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that wasn't the name of it. I just can't think of the brand right now that everybody's wearing. But
and they wanted how much for the pair?
So some real deal joints, you're gonna get them for what? 300. Like 300, 250, 300, right? They're selling them shits over there for like 200, like 200 or so. Like that's knockoff. You gotta sell that shit for 100.
It's supposed to be 100.
75, 100.
Yeah, but it's like they paying their money.
And you know, first of all, anybody that's really into all them fashions ain't gonna really wear the knockoff anyway. But if they was thinking about it, they walked out the door because they like, for another $100, I go get the real deal.
Go get the real deal. Like, why even spend that?
But yeah, man. But yeah, we gotta get it together, man. We gotta start wanting to see each other up, and just not just say it. We gotta actually.
We gotta do it. Live by it. Die by it. Start securing certain things, man. It's a black western on Netflix, man. You been on Netflix lately?
Yeah, you talking about the new one?
That new joint, nice.
Yeah, they all fall down.
They all fall down. Yeah, that joint nice. Make sure y'all check that out. Make sure y'all check out that BMF. That last episode was crazy, man.
I gotta check it out.
My man's went nuts, man.
Yeah.
You can't stop the rain.
I missed the last 3-4 weeks. 3 weeks or so.
That shit crazy, dog. Yeah. You gotta go watch that shit. My man, well, man, and it's pretty decent, man. So, y'all definitely take it easy, you know what I mean? Start thinking about some of the things that y'all can do in the world to start making your community a safer and a better place. And, keep your community safe, man. Keep your family safe, you know what I'm saying? You know how I said, man, if you know somebody that's capable of causing danger, man, give them knowledge over a gun.
You did.
So,
LTA, this your boy Doe.
Man, as far as you, man.
We out of here.
We're gonna catch up.